Thank you so much, and thank you for the initiatives, and it's a great honor to be here. I think, first of all, we need to agree that the breakdown of humanity in a modern society starts when people are not being protected by the state. That is the core in the conflict, because the asymmetry between the Palestinian and the Israeli people stands with the state. And that is why the two-state solution must always be on the table. As soon as we step back, we accept, because of the Israeli constitution as well, an apartheid state. And therefore, I would love to discuss the options, of course, but I think the facts on the ground, demographically and also constitutionally, is hard to get by without having a two-state solution. I also think that the topic of genocide must be on the table at all time. Not just because it's a theoretical discussion whether or not it is a genocide, but also to legitimize ICG. Because if we stop taking action from the rulings of ICG, we will also delegitimize ICG. They have told us what to do. We must do anything that is in our power to stop an ongoing genocide. Period. And we're not doing that. And that is also a key matter for the trust in the international system, because it can't just be that we recognize their ruling if it doesn't lead to some kind of action. And that is the failure of the EU in this sense. I may provoke someone by saying Russia and Belarus is also in Europe. So to talk about European values is false. It's even false to talk about values in the European Union, because Orban invited Netanyahu to his country without taking action, and he's leaving ICC. So we need to understand, in my view, what the facts are. We can't talk about unity when there is none. And therefore, our responsibility is not towards the EU. It's toward humanity, and therefore we need to take action. And I think that Slovenia, Ireland, Spain, and so forth has done what is needed to be done. Not enough, of course, but they have done it. Unilateral. My own government is always referring to the EU. We need to do it within the EU. But if the EU, in its current form, can't take action, we're obliged to take it ourselves. And there are so many things, not just these reactive actions, like of course we should take children to our hospitals. But that is just reaction to something. We need to be proactive in a sense where we need to point out what can we do, and also take the conflict towards the EU. We need to say if the EU fails, we step forward. And the reason I end up in that is, of course, theoretical. I mean, we need to discuss this as a matter of international rule-based law and so on. But it's also towards the public opinion. They expect the leadership from us. That is what is needed. And that is why I'm here. It's not to talk about the statement. It's not that important what the statement says. Of course, there are things I would like to add, but the important thing is that people see that we don't let this question go. Because I had a debate a few weeks ago with our foreign minister. And when I was going to write my speech, I can't remember what debate in order this is. I've stood in this chamber so many times. What should I say? The words aren't there anymore. Mm-hmm. But then I forced myself to say something. I forced myself, and I told the minister, it was hard for me to find the words. And I'm not, trust me, those of you who know me, that's not my usual problem. And once the debate was over, and I was making my final remarks, I said, I had the words. They were within me. because it's my obligation towards public opinion, towards civil society. And honestly, I think that if we only look at this conflict as a separate conflict here and now, we'll lose the bigger picture. Because if we can't stand up for what is happening now and take action, it's not just Palestine that is on the table. It's the liberal, and in my case, the social democracy that will fail. Because this is just the start. If Israel and the US can do this, we have Taiwan on the table. We have, of course, the whole Central Asia on the table, and so forth. We see that in Ukraine. That is why we take the stand there. But we must take stand in Palestine. Otherwise, this can go really, really, really bad. And our countries has the capacities for that and the people.